To the Checkered, featuring the NASCAR Winston Racing Series from Jennerstown Speedway. Chase to the Checkered is brought to you by Pizza Hut. Sometimes you've got to stop and smell the pizza. And by Chevrolet and your local Chevrolet Geo dealer, the official vehicle of Jennerstown Speedway. Hello everyone and welcome to today's show. I'm Mike Nelson along with Steve Richard, and it's great to have you with us. We're going to have a lot of racing on Chase to the Checkered this week. It's a complete NASCAR Winston Racing Series 4-division action of the John Auto Parts Pure Later late models, Pro Stocks, Riverside Biolo's Street Stocks, and the Pure Stocks that all took place on Saturday evening, June 18th. Plus, a complete program for the ARDC Midgets. So it's a lot of racing in the next 30 minutes.
6 features to run, and it's interesting. This is the first time in 3 years the ARDC Midgets will be back at Jennerstown. They only weigh 900 pounds, 300 horsepower, and they're actually faster than our late model division. Unfortunately, with all the excitement that's going to be going on here tonight, there is a bit of a damper put on all of the festivities. This week, very unexpectedly, Piney Lasky, the founder and promoter for many years here at Jennerstown Speedway, died unexpectedly at his home. And it's going to be a special night in many respects for drivers and race fans alike. The Speedway is dedicated not only tonight, but the rest of the season in memory of Piney.
He's meant so much to area auto racing throughout western Pennsylvania, and he's made Jennerstown a speedway into national prominence. And we at Chase to the Checkered certainly feel the same, and all the production crew and everybody want to remember him and dedicate the rest of our television season to Piney Lasky as well. In fact, later in the show, we'll have a race break as a tribute to Stanley Piney Lasky. Stay with us. We'll have all the racing right after these messages.
Falling in love again. All over America, people are falling in love again with Pizza Hut. Hey, with that great zesty sauce, irresistible blend of cheeses, and mounds of mouth-watering toppings, you can't help it.
Hey, nice pirate's jug.
No, it's a bucket.
No, it's definitely a jug. See, there's a straw.
It's got a handle like a bucket.
You can't drink out of a bucket.
A bucket this nice, I would.
How much you pay for that?
$1.99.
That's a bucket.
No, it's a bucket.
Cruise into your local Chevrolet Geo dealer now for the all-new Camaro.
First you hear it.
Hardy fighting for his life, holding on to the lead, and everybody's challenging.
Then you see it.
Darkness goes up high. That man right there at the wall.
Then you feel it. Right to your bone marrow. It's the NASCAR Winston Racing Series every Saturday at Jennerstown Speedway. Don't starve your senses. Bring your entertainment appetite and prepare to feast at Jennerstown. Hi everybody, we're back with our first of many features on this week's program as we look at the Chevrolet official vehicle pace car, that beautiful Camaro Z28. Not with us the first time ever since the track's been paid for main event. Piney Lasky, of course, we talked about the intro of the show, passing away. I'm sure he's with each and every one of these drivers and race fans in spirit.
If there ever was a driver's promoter and owner, it was indeed Piney Lasky. All of the drivers here at Jennerstown basically had a love affair with Piney, and the fact that he treated all of the drivers equally and fairly, and he's going to be sorely missed by not only the fans but by the drivers as well. Here's a look at our front three rows as we get ready to start this first of twin 35s for the John Auto Parts Pure Later late models. And as the field comes out of turn 4, I know these drivers counting on points not only Jennerstown but for the Northeast region. Let's go to a call.
Here we go. Out of turn 4, the greens unfolded. We're up to speed and racing. Oh, look out down the front straight. Oh, my goodness. Rick Miller could not come up to speed, and what a tremendous reaction by all these drivers to avoid a major miscue. Look who gets the jump with the lead. The Riverside, Bilo, Sanitary, 00, Stevie Pellis. The Iceman follows close in second.
Look at this, Steve Areno. After being absent from the Laurel Highlands Oval for about 3 weeks, Tim Ice in that white 65 machine running second behind Steve Pellis comes out of the box here, so to speak, and is quick right at the drop of the green. Now, Barry Audie's working the low side down the back straightaway, the 32 of Glenn Galt, and they're wrestling for third as Ice still pursues the 00 machine of Steve Pellis. Here's this battle for third again, and look at this. Charlie Creighton gets into the thick of things, and things get pretty interesting with this battle because these drivers know each other very well, so they use a lot of strategy. There goes Ice. So
dive to the low side of the Riverside Bi-Low Sanitary 00 in an attempt to get by that position for the top spot.
Talking to some of the crew members on Pellis's crew as we watch Ice groom that low line, Pellis hanging it out on the high line. The 00 car of Steve Pellis has been having problems with handling most of the season so far. They've not been able to figure out some of the suspension geometry to get the car to work exactly right. He's continuing to work that outside line and is holding his own at the moment, but look at Tim Ice. He's just a little bit here, a little bit there. He's managing to pull up beside the door panel of Steve Pellis, and if this keeps up, he's probably going to wind up in the lead in a very short period of time. Here they're running side by side, and actually right now Ice does have just a little bit of an advantage as they work their way down the back straight, and still that good battle going on for third place behind them.
Yeah, Glenn Gold has that view all by himself right now as Charging Charlie Cragen works the low side of Barry Oddie. They fight it out. But here's Tim Ice again. That's the fast racing engine. Howe Enterprise automobile. The car a little bit squirrely there. You know, the track, we had some rain during the afternoon, and it slowed down the times a little bit. But Ice will go work down the back straightaway and dive into the top position. Now, these cars are going to come around out of turn 4, but we had a crash in the back straight. Right here, Bobby Henry hit the wall a ton. He broke a hub, and he just rode down the back straight wall to bring out a yellow during this battle. And you'll get a chance to see, they took this car into the pits. Very, very heavy damage. He has one win at the Laurel Highlands Oval this season, and the rest of it's bad luck like this.
It seems to have been a feast or famine year so far all season long for the Henry team. But back to racing action. This is lap 10, battle for third. Let's go to a live call.
Up high goes Glenn Gold. Barry Oddie tries to get down the back straightaway. Here's the strike. The Stoystown Auto record 75 dives into 3 and 4. This battle for third continues. Oddie, oh, look at this! Wow! Wow! Unbelievable! Did you see that? Yeah, I saw that. Did you see it?
I saw, but I don't know whether I believe it.
Unbelievable. Charlie Cragen making that move. He's jumped all the way up to the third place position. He works down the back straight and continues this pursuit to the leaders, that being Tim Ice and Steve Pellis. Now, we're going to jump ahead in this event. Watch this. We go to the midpoint of the race. This is a battle for second, and things get intense. Let's take it to another live call. Look at these 4 automobiles battle for the bridesmaid spot. Oh, look at this down the front straight. Everybody all over the back bumper. Cragen, look at Oddie. Oddie may be the fastest car on the track. Cragen's handling is going away big time. Here comes Oddie, race fans. Go get through. Now let's get through. Cragen is going south in a hurry. Oh, the car has broken on him or something's gone wrong. Everybody has a wholesale pass on the low side of Cragen.
Oddie manages to grab the second place spot, and he sets his sights on Tim Ice, but if you'll notice, Tim Ice is already out of turn 2 on the back straight, and as a matter of fact, here he comes around for the last lap. Oddie could not make up that much distance in that short period of time, and Ice picks up the checkered here at Jennerstown, the Giant Auto Parts Curator, first of 2 35-lap features.
Now, at this point, he's become the 6th different winner out of 7 events so far at the Laurel Highlands Oval. Very competitive field.
Well, we've got one feature under wraps with Tim Ice in victory lane. Now it's time to move on to our second feature, second of 6 tonight, Mike, and this is the Street Stocks, the Riverside Bi-Low Street Stocks in their 20-lap circuit. Oh boy, Mike, what a field. This is going to be an exciting race. This is always the case with our Street Stocks.
The most interesting thing to look at in the top of the road, Jack Satoski has now been racing. He's returned. The word was at the beginning of the year he didn't have a ride. He wasn't going to be racing. He's been so dominant in this division. But he's jumped into John Rhodes' car. They've changed the number, the number 12, and he's in the top 3 row. In fact, the outside, the first row. As the Chevrolet Camaro Z28 pace car heads to the infield, we come up to green flag status under Ron Brutt's flag stand, and it is, in fact, Stoystown's Jack Satoski taking the lead.
As a matter of fact, it's a position he's very familiar with, running here at Jennerstown the last several seasons. Always seems to find his way to the front, be it early or late in the race. Oh, a minor incident in the back. We have Brian Oddie and Marty Edwards getting together, saying hello, how do you do? But both drivers managed to keep the cars under control, no damage done. And this is
a battle now
for the lead, and it is Sean the Bullet Bean working the high line on the outside of Jack Satoski. Again, 2 drivers who know each other very well from years past.
Yeah, we moved well on in this event because Satoski was holding everybody off. But as we work on now the 15th circuit, ironically number 15, Sean the Bullet Bean continues that effort to the outside. The Somerset, Pennsylvania driver will come very close with that Ford automobile, but he continues giving space. Look at this. It's wide open, but Carl Trevera in that black and purple car with nowhere to go to take advantage of that space between those 2 automobiles. So the battle continues. Brian Oddie gets into the thick of things here with us as well. So we've got 4 cars running in side-by-side 2 rows for this lead position struggle.
As our announcer would say, I think it's about time to open up the refrigerator door and pull out the mayonnaise and make a sandwich. It's definitely a 4-car sandwich. As we watch this battle for the lead, again, we're watching Jack Satoski really diving low in the turns. And this time around, it's Sean Beam who takes advantage of that move. by Satoski, and he does manage to hold on to that first place position. Here comes Brian Audi on the outside of Satoski as well, and he'll assume the number 2 position. Right now, Audi's got to set his sights on Sean Le Bullet Beam, who is running on the point position. What we're going to do is move ahead in the event. As a matter of fact, this is the battle for the lead. 1 lap to go, and things are really getting hot out there on the track, Mike. Let's go to a live call.
Here comes the white flag. 1 lap remaining. Who's it going to be? They go into turns 1 and 2. Dow 1900 Polaroid. We have a photo finish coming. Beam and Audi. Down the back straightaway. Beam ahead by a car length. Audi dirt tracks. He'll dive one more time. Beam takes it over. Audi on the low side. Out of turn 4. Beam goes up high. Here comes Audi down the front straight. It's Beam by 3/4 of a car length.
That's what you call a clean sweep this past weekend when they ran this event at Jennerstown, because the night before, the Bullet ended up in Victory Lane at our sister track, Motordrome Speedway. There he is in Victory Lane, the Riverside Bi-Lo's Supermarket sponsored division. The street stocks are Thunder and Lightning division, which is a hot, humid, and there were some lightning bolts going off during that feature, literally.
Yeah.
Hey, it's time to move on to the ARDC. That's American Racing Drivers Club Midgets. These cars with a great history. 26 cars strong out there. You saw a look at the top 3 rows as we get ready for the green flag to be dropped on this field. This traveling circuit has their own folks involved with all the officiating and everything else. Now watch what happens here, Steve. These cars very nibble, 2, 3, 4, 5 wide going into turn 1 in position battling.
You know, we often talk that we can't make it 3 wide with our other divisions. These gentlemen and ladies, I'm sure, can make it about 4, maybe even 5 wide. We should also point out these cars are relatively light, weighing only about 900 pounds, and they're actually going to qualify, or they qualified faster than our John Auto Parts Purolator late model division, so they're a very fast car. But what I don't understand, Mike, you're a little bit more familiar with the car setup than I am. These cars not only run asphalt, but they run dirt as well, same car, and they run with and without the wings.
That's right. In fact, here at Jennerstown, this is one of the bigger, faster tracks they run on, and you can still see they're going 2 and 3 wide in position battles. A very, very tight situation here because they have open wheels. If they touch, they could end up putting a car upside down relatively easily. But the wings allow them to go faster in the late models, as you've mentioned. 17.3s, almost a full second faster than our late model field tonight, some of the top runners. In fact, one of those cars right there, the number 2 automobile, Bob Resco, was a car that turned one of those quick times during practice. He's moved into a top 10 position. As we look at the rest of the field, they've been getting to scatter out. Drew Fenora in the black car is running in 4th place position. And as we move up here, we're going to jump ahead in this event. We're at the midway point. Here's the story of this race. See this one automobile? That is Liquid Lou Ciccone, he's known. Liquid Lou Ciccone Jr., his father, Lou Ciccone Sr., a very famous race driver. But look at him peel through traffic. He has the lead right now. At the start of the race, he actually jumped 8-9 cars in one turn, getting by them. They blew an engine up in practice. They put a brand new engine in this automobile. He didn't get any time on the track, and he jumped in this feature. And it's a 20-lap main that we're running, and he's already taken the lead at the midpoint. He continues cruising. He's literally making mincemeat out of this field. He, of course, a lot of people have seen running on national TV without the wing at places like Winchester and that. And as he works down turn 1, Steve, look!
Puff of smoke. And guess what? Second motor in the same night.
Oh, an expensive night for this driver from Prospect Park.
And especially for somebody who was running as well as he was, starting at the back of the pack and being able to pass all of those cars so quickly, and as we mentioned, the short main feature to take the lead.
Now, what happens here is, this is very interesting. During a caution flag, Drew Fenora took over the lead. He fell out as well. So the 3rd place runner now becomes your lead automobile, and that's Bob Resco Jr., and he'll bring the field up to speed, and everybody tries to go 3 wide behind him, including people like Phil DeMario out there, and Johnny Heidenreich, who's won here before at Jennerstown 3 years ago when they were last in. But down the back straightaway, Resco continues with the lead, and these drivers still, with the car set lower to the ground, the wider racing slicks as opposed to when they run on dirt, are able to hug the speedway and go so much faster because they're using these wings in the turn. Now, we move ahead in the event, and this is late race situation going on, and we still have Resco as the leader. And again, like Ciccone before, he's running around a lot of these lapped automobiles. Some of them like this Roadster to the low side. That's a chassis they tried to experiment with away from these traditional upright cars. But the upright cars seem to be dominant on the asphalt.
And they really can fly with those wings. They're almost comparative to the super modifieds in a much smaller sense that we run at our fall festival at the end of the season. But at this stage of the game, it's this man's race to win, providing the car doesn't break. Those 4 cylinders really pump out a lot of horsepower, Mike. I think about 300 horsepower.
That's right, and Resco continues in the dominance of this event. Because of the wing, the turn speed's up high, very little torque is lost. As you know, a 4-cylinder car doesn't have as much torque. But when the RPMs stay up, the car can go very fast. It's very nimble, very short wheelbase.
So it's a handful, even with the wing. They'll want to nip and tuck and shaw and everything. And now he's got to peel his way through traffic, and it gets to be real intense. But yeah, the checker comes and saves him from going through all that traffic. Johnny Heidenreich has run well before in this series. He finishes second. Phil DeMario third. Craig Stoller, in one of the older cars, an older design midget, finishes fourth. Nice run for him. And Doug Craig rounds out the top five. Tradition in Victory Lane.
And the tradition is the winner in any of our touring events or visiting divisions gets to wear the Piney hat in Victory Lane. Let's go to a race break about Piney.
This race break is brought to you by Pizza Hut. Sometimes you've got to stop and smell the pizza. Writer, because of you.
All over America, people are falling in love again with Pizza Hut. Hey, with that great zesty sauce, irresistible blend of cheeses, and mounds of mouth-watering toppings. You can't help it.
Hey, nice pirate jug.
No, it's a bucket.
No, it's definitely a jug. See, there's the straw.
It's got a handle like a bucket.
You can't drink out of a bucket.
A bucket this nice, I would.
How much you pay for that?
$1.99.
That's a bucket.
No, it's a bucket.
Cruise into your local Chevrolet Geo dealer now for the all-new Camaro.
First you hear it,
Hardy fighting for his life, holding on to the lead, and everybody's challenging.
then you see it,
Darkness goes up high. Don't man right there at the wall.
then you feel it, right to your bone marrow. It's the NASCAR Winston Racing Series every Saturday at Jennerstown Speedway. Don't starve your senses. Bring your entertainment appetite and prepare to feast at Jennerstown. We're back with the second John Auto Parts Pure Later late model 35-lap main. It's a feast for these guys tonight, and it's Snooky Williams on the point, the 51-year-old pilot in the Kennametal number 6 Oldsmobile.
And as we look at the rest of the front three rows, note row number 2, Steve Pellis. Steve Pellis and Sergeant Charlie Cragen were leading the Winston Northeast Region NASCAR Racing Series. Heading into tonight, Cragen was up front by about 100 points. Pellis was behind him. Now remember, Sergeant Charlie did not finish our first feature tonight. That made Steve Pellis smile. Cragen's got his work cut out for him. As we come down the front straight and start this second feature, let's go right to a call.
Into turns 1 and 2, Snooky Williams holds the lead. Here comes Randy Burke to the outside of him down the back straightaway. Randy Burke in a drag race with Snooky Williams. Everybody 2 by 2, rolling through turns 3 and 4. Burke coming back up high on Williams. Oh, look at this collection of automobiles. Oh, it's tight running down the front straightaway. Into 1 and 2, Williams continues holding the lead. Steve Pellis pressures back bumper. Burke up high now. Pellis gets low on Burke. The Riverside Bilo, Sanitary, 00 on the low side of Randy Burke. Trying to burst the dam. Williams holds the lead. We're trying to make it 3 wide out of turn 4 and a battle for the lead. Oh, Pinnacle gets crossed up. Drops off the pace. Everybody gets by unscathed. Unbelievable. It's still side-by-side a battle for the lead between Williams and Burke. Oh, Pellis gets crossed up. Look out into the air, airborne. And there's a collection of automobiles down the back straight.
Oh, Steve, you talk about the turnaround of events. Now, Pellis says, but we're going to look at this over again from the turn 3 camera. Pellis, nowhere to go. Barry Audi right there. Not sure if the cars made contact, a racing incident perhaps. Cars behind spin to avoid any further miscues, but for Steve Pellis, it is a night-ending mishap for that car, and he has the same fate that suffered before was Charging Charlie Craig. And now we're back up to racing. This is a lead battle on lap 7.
Snooky Williams continues to hold the point position. Here comes Tim Ice, the winner of our first feature tonight. Barry Audi also in the thick of things, and also Charging Charlie Craig is working his way on, grooming that low line, trying to work his way up toward the front. And as we work our way down the front straightaway, let's go back to another call.
Tim Ice closes right up on the back bumper of Williams. Oh, look. Oh, wow, look at that. Wow. Williams breaks, and it causes all kinds of position shuffling. Can you believe that one, race fans?
Yeah, just another typical night at the Laurel Highlands. Hey, we're going to move on in this event. You can believe it or turn the station.
Don't touch
we
that dial.
we ought to call this Believe It or Not Speedway. Lap 12, this lead battle. Charging Charlie Craig now knows what Pellis out of the event. He has a chance to extend his lead in NASCAR Winston Race Series Northeast region. He gets by Tim Ice, and this is probably shocking everybody in the grandstands because they figured Ice is the one that had it. But nope, look how far he has extended the lead. This is for the checkered. And it's Charging Charlie Craig in the winning the second 35-lap main for the John Auto Parts Pure Later Late Models. He becomes the second repeat winner in 94 Jennerstown.
Ice does manage to hold on to second. Tom Erickson, the only other repeat winner at Jennerstown, finishes third. Back to victory lane with Charging Charlie.
A happy, smiling Craig, and from Hopewell, Pennsylvania, now we move on with more racing. This potpourri of excitement on Chase to the Checkered this week. It is the Pro Stocks, and this is their 25 circuit main. Larry the Bahana up on the point position. Randy Pote is outside of him on the first row.
And also looking for finishes tonight, Jeff Dunbar, who has had some bad luck the last few weeks here at Jennerstown, hoping to improve on his luck and his finishes here as well, although he is, I believe, leading in points, track points here at Jennerstown. And it's up to Ron Bruck to drop the green flag, bring the field up to speed, and we're off to the races again, Mike.
And as they work into turns 1 and 2, taking the lead right off the spot is New Eagle, Pennsylvania's Larry Bahana, and the RCS Racing Engines Oldsmobile. Now he'll hold that. And Butch Durkis runs in the second place position. Randy Pote in third, and look at everybody pick different lines. Oh, we have a problem right at the beginning. The 77 of Kelly Shaw spins. That car was damaged earlier, but we're going to move on in the event. This is a lead battle. Now, we've marched to lap 15. The reason why we've done this is because Bahana's been leading this whole time. A masterful job for this driver in his third year racing on the asphalt. Tries a little too hard with lap traffic. Loses the automobile. Guess who gets by? Jeff Dunbar. And there's a minor miscue there with Bobby Friedline with that car. But Dunbar got by, and now Dunbar, here's the replay again. Dunbar gets by, and you can see Bahana. There was no touching going on. It's just
Every once in a while, the car is coming just a little bit too hot out of the corners, or maybe the setup isn't just quite right, and the rear end kicks out in the car. What we're going to do is move ahead in the event. This is Jeff Dunbar in the lead, and we are on lap 22. Not too much time to go. Dave Halp is hot on his bumper, but right now it is Dunbar holding on to that point position. A number of cars battling for positions 2, 3, and 4 behind him, but it's Jeff Dunbar's race right now.
And as he works out of 4, and Dave Halp works on him, it has been Gary Wiltrout, an effort performance number 10, the white Pennsylvania driver. He's been doing an outstanding job holding on to third. He's holding out the pressure from Rapid Robert Arsenberger for third. Here's this battle for the lead again. You know, Halp's getting anxious. He's been trying to get around fellow Somerset resident Jeff Dunbar. They are no strangers to each other when it comes to this kind of racing. Halp has tried high, and he keeps peeking down low. He was doing that laps earlier in this event, and he's not been able to make that pass on the man who's such a crafty veteran. Remember, last week, Dunbar had to head on with his Camaro. This is his Lumina automobile. That's his backup ride, and yet he's still doing well. Look at Halp getting squirrely, trying everything to close in on Dunbar. He lights the right rear tires up and gets sideways.
Just as we had talked earlier, the car coming out of the turn, just a little bit too much speed for perhaps the setup of the car. It's Jeff Dunbar who manages to hold on to that lead position, picks up the checkered. Halp, despite getting squirrely on the back straight, gets his second. Arsenberger, Wingard, and Wiltrout round out the top 5.
2 Fords in there in third and fourth, getting by Wiltrout in the waning laps of this event. But Jeff Dunbar, a familiar sight in Victory Lane, originally in the Riverside Bilo Street Stocks for a number of years, and now more recently in the last couple of years in the Pro Stock division. And we're going to take things right on, and we're coming up to our final event on this week's show. It's for our fireworks division, and I say that name, keep it in mind, because we do some spark surfing here with our pure stock machines. 15 circuit main. There's a look at the top 3 rows, and we got a female pilot on the outside of the first row.
Mike Davis has the pole. Linda Schwab is on his outside. Elijah Hawatnik, Mike Bacalon in the second row, Aaron Will, and Mitzi Chavez. We have a lady back in the third row as well. Maybe it'll be ladies' night out tonight, Mike.
And watch what happens. We bring them out of turns 3 and 4. In the back of the field, the car will have a problem. And I believe it's Dave Schlesinger's automobile. He's lost the wheel, and the fireworks starts. He spark surfs. The wheel hits the outside retaining wall and comes harmlessly to rest.
But this automobile, Schlesinger's, will come to also harmlessly to rest right here in the front straight. The caution comes out, but watch what happens here. Over in turn 2. Everybody gets together. I'm not sure. Some people saw the caution and some didn't. It's got to be the biggest pilot we've had so far this season, and it happens in the fireworks division, the pure stocks, all kinds of automobiles involved out there. Significantly, and this is the replay, the car's slowing down, but some of them don't react in time, and wham, hitting the outside retaining wall. Mark Corden, Robin Rimmel's up there as well, a number of automobiles. Corden, the dominant car, is out of the race again, and then all of a sudden that changes the complexion since he's been so dominant. We go back to the restart.
That's the second time in the last 3 weeks that Mark Corden has been knocked out of the race. And as we start this race back up again, the battle for the lead position, hot and heavy. 2 cars working their way down the back straightaway. Hey, Mike, this is the battle of the Mikes. Mike Davis and Bacalon. And I always thought that the guys with the first name Mike couldn't drive, but these guys have proven me wrong. You must have another problem. Must not be your name. We can't figure that one out right now. It is Mike Davis who's holding on to the lead position. Bacalon grooming the low line, trying to gain some sort of an advantage. Dan Campbell also back there trying to work his way up toward the front. And here comes Mitzi Shalas, ladies, grooming the high line.
I just remember you need to use a microphone to get on this TV program, so don't forget that.
Yes, Mike.
Down the back straight, it's still the double mics as they work side by side, fender to fender out of turn 4. And you know, position battling through the middle of the field, they get hot and heavy sometimes. You know, here's a surprise. Elijah Hawatnik in the 26 is right there in the 3rd place position. Hawatnik, he tells me he's Ukrainian, so that helps you on the pronunciation. His name, perhaps it does, perhaps it doesn't. Down the back straight, watch this though. As they work together in a battle for the 4th place position, the cars get very close together, and Terminator 2, Scott Kokenar gets the worst of it. Jim's Auto and Truck Stop 19 rests against the outside retaining wall. Believe it or not, he was able to get the car restarted and join the back of the field. These 3,600-pound cars can really take a shot. Speaking of shots, Mitzi Shalas loses a wheel. The wheel goes out of the track. She hits the wall a ton. Now, the wheel went through under the signs will show that. Mitzi was okay despite being jarred a little bit. Look at the hole in the sign. The wheel went right out there, ended up on the road out there somewhere. So as we move on this event, it's a late race battle for the lead. By the way, the wheel didn't hit anything. It just came to rest. It might be still out there. You could use it for your car.
No sheet metal damage in the parking lot?
No, you got a clunker you can use that for, I think, don't you? Don't you come to the race?
Let's get back to the race. Let's
Cam-
get back to the race.
Campbell
Yes,
gets
Dan
the lead
Campbell.
here.
Yes, Dan Campbell has pulled ahead of Mike Bacalon, and he's going to hold the point position. 1 lap to go. Bacalon's going to make one last effort. He pulls up behind the likes of Dan Campbell. Can he make the pass? No, indeed. It's Dan Campbell at the finish, picking up the checkered in this 15-lap main for the Pure Stocks. There's a look at our top 5 finishers. Campbell with the win, Bacalon second, Mike Davis, Aaron Will, and Rick Ackerman rounding out the top 5.
That's it for this week. Check out the Words of Wisdoms. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
That concludes racing for this week. Don't forget, you can obtain $2 reserve seat discount coupons to Jennerstown Speedway at